Hey everyone, and welcome to Going Deep for Encouragement. My name is Steve Haynes. It's so good to have you join us today. And today I've got a short encouragement for you, and it's so central to the world we live in, where there's so much comparison. If you think about Facebook, you think about social media, the amount of times we watch what other people are doing and we compare ourselves to that person, and we think about, man, that person's got a better family than I have. They've got a better marriage than I have. And it's because everyone puts their best forward. They only show their good side. So it makes us feel inadequate. And I was reading this the other day, and it's found in John 4. And I really think it really cuts to the heart of who Jesus was when he was here on the earth. And it also speaks about a little bit about who John the Baptist was. And found in John 4, and it says this: the Pharisees heard that Jesus was gaining and baptizing more disciples than John, although in fact it was not Jesus who baptized, but his disciples. When the Lord learned of this, he left Judea and went back once more to Galilee. And you see, my friend, I want to speak to you a little bit about the fact that a religious spirit is always comparing. Notice who the people were that were observing and judging who was baptizing more. It was the Pharisees. So the Pharisees were looking at Jesus, and instead of celebrating the fact that people were being baptized, instead of celebrating what God was doing in the middle, they were focused on the numbers. They were focused on the comparison. How does Jesus compare to John the Baptist? How does he compare to our lives? All of these sort of things. And they missed the point in that moment. I'm surrounded in ministry where I see people comparing themselves to others. I fall into that trap where I look at other people's ministries and I compare myself to, well, how many people are following that person? How many people attend that person's conferences? And we get caught into the trap of the Pharisees of comparing numbers. But look at Jesus' response. And at first he says it wasn't Jesus baptizing, but in verse 3 it says, when the Lord learned of this, he left Judea and went back once more to Galilee. So he didn't leave to go to Galilee because he had the Father told him to go to Galilee. He didn't go there because he had another reason to go there. It says, when he learned of this. In other words, when he heard that people were comparing him to John the Baptist, he's saying, it's time for us to move on. It's time for us to move on. John the Baptist was the one who said, I must decrease so that he increases. And I have a feeling that so much of what we do in society today is all about how I can increase in my life, instead of having John the Baptist's point of view of saying, I must decrease so that he must increase. My friend, what is the area of responsibility and authority God has placed you in? And are you comparing yourself to others? Are you always trying to track the numbers and how popular are you? And are you making all these grounds instead of giving him glory? Instead of being the one that I must decrease and he must increase, we're taking the glory for ourselves. And so I hope that that's been an encouragement and even a bit of a challenge to you, that we would live our lives not for ourselves. We would live our lives for his glory. And so I thank you so much for joining us. I know that if this has been an encouragement to you, please will you pass this on to friends and family so they too can be encouraged. And share and like on YouTube. It'll be good to have you join us. So God bless you, and we'll see you next time.